Today, I want to walk through a really important scenario we've recently implemented in SDM Software's Change Manager for Group Policy and Intune. This feature is referred to as tamper protection. Essentially, what it's there for is to ensure that any changes to GPOs, to configuration objects that are managed by the Change Manager for Group Policy and Intune product, any changes that occur to those GPOs outside of the Change Manager tooling are captured. Notifications are sent, people are informed, things are audited and tracked, et cetera, et cetera. It's a really important feature. Two key scenarios. The first one is sort of the less intrusive, right? This is a human who actually has not been trained up on the new process, isn't aware of Change Manager for Group Policy and Intune, or just simply forgot, right? And they have excessive rights. I'm currently logged in as a domain admin here. So they're just going to launch the editor like they would for any native edit. They're going to go to the Group Policy Object Editor, maybe find the setting that they're looking for. I'm dealing with removable storage device settings. And regardless of the details of these settings, I'm making two very quick changes, and that's it. I close that editor. Those changes have occurred. They are represented by the production GPO. Now, we're able to monitor native GPO and capture changes and alert, audit, notify the appropriate individual for those changes. So when I go and look at my email, I can give it a quick refresh, but here it is already. An out-of-band change was detected for this GPO. That's the one that I just managed. And these are the things that were updated or that were touched. Course GPT, whatever. So that's great. An email notification was sent. But within the Change Manager for Group Policy and Intune product, we also have captured that event from an auditing perspective in our audit log. So you can see that change occurred. Right here, there's my login that just occurred. This tells me the details of the change and all kinds of stuff that's important in there, right? So that change was captured. Obviously, an email was sent, and you saw that. But this is a situation where we just go back to that human and say, hey, you forgot. We need to do all of our changes through Change Manager for Group Policy and Intune. Don't forget. Simple, easy, move on. So now we have a slightly different scenario. This is a scenario where some human, that human may or may not be internal. It may be someone who is able to get into and exploit a credential issue. But I'm going to log into my domain controller. I just happen to be on a DC here. I attach to the GPO in question. This is the group policy object that I just managed. And I'm going to go into the inner workings of this GPO and make some direct changes. So here's an example where I can add comments, if I can spell correctly. Not really a scenario that I should be super worried about, but in the end, if a user has access to SYSVOL directly and can manually change these files, we need to be aware. We need to be notified, and we need to be aware. So back on my management server, again, I'm going to receive a notification like I have in the past. So there's the one that just came in. On the same one, that comments file was just updated. Great. The notification system is tracking it. More importantly, we have captured that in the audit log. You can see that that change has occurred. This is the one that just occurred that is only talking about that comment.cmtx file. The situation is pretty clear. Either someone is just not paying attention and doing things the way they're supposed to. We need to capture that. We need to notify. We need to hold people accountable. The other is a little more nefarious. What if someone who has acquired excessive rights is able to get directly into the file system and make changes to these GPOs? Both are super important. Architecturally, they're both the same. A very simple, very secure model that we've chose. Essentially, there is a single agent, an anti-tampering agent that sits on one domain controller per domain, locked down by a certificate, so the communications back and forth are really tightly controlled. Once that is up and running, that one DC is responsible for looking at changes as they occur to objects that are managed by Change Manager for Group Policy and Intune. If a change does occur, notifications, audits, et cetera, will be captured. We want to keep you safe, want to keep you protected, want to ensure that GP is not exploited as a mechanism to get bad configuration out there. And in the end, incredible new feature for Change Manager for Group Policy and Intune 2.0. Hope you're enjoying the release. Pay attention for more videos and let us know if you have any feedback.